Ollie Watkins got the goal, the 1-0 victory. He's had a fine start to the season. A little bit of a slow starter, but now he's up and running, Scotty. Is he underrated a little bit? Is he... Because we've got Harry Kane, and Harry Kane is going to start. I heard him say there that he thinks he can play with Harry Kane, but the shape will have to change. And I don't see him and Kane playing in the same team.
But I don't blame him for putting it out there.
I don't blame him, but I don't.
Let's face it, Harry's starting whatever if he's fit.
Yeah, and that's just... I mean, if the game becomes stretched, a bit desperate, maybe there's a sending off, maybe Southgate might have to shuffle his pack and go a little bit more direct, or maybe perhaps... But as a number 2, as an understudy right now, is he in the box seat?
I think after that performance, yes. I mean, I thought last season he was superb. Towards the end of last season, really, really good. And yeah, a bit of a slow start this season. But his story is just incredible, really. And
for those
again,
that don't know, just explain
we talk
his
about
journey.
Resilience of someone. And like, he was at Exeter, and he couldn't even... I'm sure we did a thing on Sky where Paul Tisdale liked him, but they had enough attacking players, and he couldn't produce the type of form that Paul knew he was capable of. So we brought him on pre-season. I'm sure it was like as a left back to justify him just coming along.
Imagine that if he took your place.
Well, no, but he ended up, and I think he went on loan to Weston-super-Mare. And when you think about players nowadays, it's almost like you have to be a superstar at 15, 16, or a superstar in the making. He really wasn't, and came through the ranks. And as I say, Exeter, Brentford, Weston-super-Mare on loan as well. And then he went to Villa. And of course, he is more of a natural winger. He's had to acquire and learn the role of a centre forward. He's been absolutely superb. And I watched him last night. I actually had to watch. I had a gig to do last night, so I came.
Tell everyone the gig, Scotty. When you think of the gig, you think, "Where's Scotty? Who's he interviewing? Where's he had to travel to? He flew back in from Paris." Where was the gig, Scott?
If only it was that glamorous. It was actually a quiz night, hosting a quiz night at one of my girls' schools.
He's gone from Sky Sports, Chelsea TV, to hosting a quiz night.
Do you know what? The chink of the money.
What's your charge? Your agent get involved?
I had to say a couple of times, because it's amazing how competitive parents get.
Oh, okay.
And I'm having to justify, look, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading out what these questions are. I'm not getting paid for this. Let's just try and have some fun.
Did someone have a pop?
It wasn't a pop as such, but let's just say I had to put him on the back foot. It was like, it's actually a rugby question. It was quite apt, obviously, what's going on at the moment. And I think it was something like, since 1999, how many teams have been in a Rugby World Cup? And they said, well, how many teams, as in England is one, and how many sort of different teams? Yeah. And I said, look, I don't know. I'm just reading out the question. The answer was 20. No, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kicked off.
We
had to get the police involved. No.
4 arrests. Okay.
No, so I did dress it up when I said gig. It wasn't really a gig. But so the bottom line is I got home at midnight.
Right.
And I thought, like, I'm working with you.
Yeah.
I need to watch the game. I can't go on air without having to watch full. Someone said watch highlights. No. I can't. No. You need to watch the full 90 minutes to get a judge of a game. Yeah. So 2:30 in the morning, I went to bed.
Scotty. So he's done a gig at his daughter's school, questionnaire, the questionnaire master there, and he had to come back and watch 90 minutes of England. Well, I mean, it wasn't the greatest game, but
no,
you sat.
No, so let's go on to stick with Ollie, but then come back to, because I think what you said at the top is absolutely spot on. I actually learned a lot out of last night, or this morning technically, from 12 till 2:30, watching the game. But in terms of Ollie, I couldn't be more impressed with him. First of all, he's just a nice guy, and a nice guy doesn't really matter whether you on the pitch, whether you're a nice guy or not. But I like the fact that he is a nice guy. I've interviewed him. I've met him a couple of times.
He's a good lad in the dressing room. That's what you're saying. Is it around? And he's
actually, first and foremost, he's a nice human being, which I think is important in today's world. Yeah. But it's not important in football. Secondly, he'd be a good lad in the dressing room. Thirdly, and most importantly in terms of football, he's very good on the pitch. Yeah. I thought last night. So I paused it because I kind of fell asleep at half time. So I woke up and...
Some of the parents were knocking on your door. That question's wrong.
So I kind of just had a little break at half time, and I thought, 0-0, who's impressed me the most? First half, before he'd scored, Ollie Watkins. I thought his movement was superb. His pace was great. His strength was good because he had some big centre halves trying to, out-muscle him. I thought his touch was very good. I thought they were a little bit harsh in terms of saying it was a poor finish. Obviously, it didn't go in. I think, personally speaking, I thought it was the right idea to go around the keeper. Yeah. It was a little bit under his feet and he didn't connect properly. If it was right foot, he probably would have done. So then right place, right time with the goal. He's apologising, but he ain't apologising. He didn't know that wasn't going in. Even if it was going in, he still would have done the same thing. But that's what you want your goal scorers to do.
You're fooling no one.
No,
I'm sorry. No, you're not.
I want as a left back in my team, and even if my striker does that to me, I'm a bit like, but I get it.
Yeah,
that's what proper goal scorers do. Half a yard, I'll take it. Thank you very much, whether it's going or not. Absolutely. So he really impressed me, and I do think he's got, at this moment in time, look, Callum Wilson, very good, when he's fit and when he's playing. Two other runners,
you mentioned Callum Wilson. Ivan Toney's going to come back.
Ivan Toney, I think, would definitely be in with a shout, and I would have loved to have seen him already in an England shirt.
We missed out there.
Listen, it ain't easy when you've been out for that long and you've not even been able to train with the lads as well. To suddenly, it's not a tap, you can't just turn it on and off. So I'm really interested to see if he hits the ground running as soon as he starts playing, then he is some player. Because that's not easy. Your body needs to get up to.
He's a different option, isn't he, as well? I'd say Callum and Ollie are quite similar in the style of play, but Tony gives. I
think Ollie's a better all-round player than Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson's probably a better finisher, but Ollie Watkins is getting better in the finishing, as we've seen for Villa. Ivan Toney, for me, actually has it all. So I'm really disappointed that he, with what happened, and he's not been able to play. And how will he do? I mean, will one of the big boys come in January? I have to wait and see. I don't know about you, but I'd love to see him in a Chelsea shirt, but he's over 25, so doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, Arsenal is that sounds and feels like that there, and Spurs apparently, but he is going to be
anybody. Ivan Toney would improve. I say anybody, maybe not City. He will definitely improve. Might be that missing link for Arsenal, so that seems the natural fit, but he's not playing. So who else is there? Tammy's been injured.
It's a bit dry after that, isn't it?
It is a little. I'm sure we're missing one or two, but for me, his performance yesterday, not just because of the goal. Listen, he ain't playing alongside. He ain't starting alongside Harry Kane.
No,
he might, if you need to go in the last 20 minutes, be chucked up alongside Harry Kane, and I do agree he can be that in behind, and Harry Kane can drop off. But I think if Harry Kane's injured, that's why one of many reasons why I think last night's game was very important.
A lot of people
you need to find out who that. If he's not fit, Gareth's not going to put these players in competitive games. So this is a perfect game, not just for Ollie Watkins, but for many others as well.
A lot of people, I thought, it's always easy to criticise England, I think, because look, this was essentially almost like a pre-season friendly. It was against Australia. It was going to be a game where some players were given the opportunity, and we saw a number of those players getting that chance. Lever Colwell, I think done very well. I mean, there was a number of players
done really well, but he's not left back.
No, he's not left, but he might find himself as that player that can do both. And when you go away in an international squad, if you are versatile,
that does help.
You feel a lot. I mean, Phil Neville, for example, he could play anywhere. Right back, left back, centre midfield, and so you think of players that are versatile, that gives you an opportunity. But any thoughts on the game? I thought it was actually quite a worthwhile game. Was it brilliant? No. Was it poor? No, not particularly. But Gareth Southgate's got a bit of food for thought there. Certainly, Ollie Watkins giving himself a chance to put himself in the picture. Because don't forget, he's not that far away, and we talk about it now. There's another international break, Scott, in about 3 weeks. You and I spoke actually. There's 3 international breaks. I thought there's only normally 2. And you're saying, no, there's always 3. You're right, there's always 3.
I think COVID kind of threw it a bit, didn't it? And then
Blame
the World
COVID.
Cup. Blame COVID.
Blame COVID. There's always other things you can blame. Blame COVID. Yes. Yeah.